Today we are going to do the kingdom Protista. Alright, earlier we had done bacteria, that was kingdom Monera. Now in bacterial cell, if you remember that the cell was prokaryotic. Now what do you mean by prokaryotic? Primitive. It was a primitive cell in the sense that the nucleus was not well developed. Now what about in Protista we will see. Now under the kingdom Protista, the various organisms that we find are usually the protozoans. Okay. So let us see which are the organisms that we find here. We find Paramecium, we find Euglena, and we find Amoeba. Okay. Now where do you find them? We find them generally near the lake or the pond. Right. So they are the scum, the greenish color. So here, what do we see? Now let us say first, the whole body is composed of only one cell. That is, they are unicellular. Alright? So the whole body is composed or is comprised of just one singular cell, and that is unicellular. Right? Now unicellular body, but it is containing all the necessary items. Now what is the necessary items that we see here? Here we see a nucleus. See, it is a well-bound nucleus. That means it has a proper wall around it. Right? Unlike bacteria, here we find under the kingdom Protista that the nucleus is well developed. Alright? It even has a nucleolus which is prominent over here. Now, this kind of cells we call them as eukaryotic. Okay? So why it is eukaryotic? Because the cell is very well developed with a prominent nucleus, with a nuclear membrane, and even a nucleolus. Okay? Now, the second part that we see here also in this Paramecium nucleus is present. Here in the amoeba, suppose I've just cut a bit of it. What do I see inside? There is a proper nucleus inside. Okay? So in all the organisms under the Protista, nucleus is well developed. So we can term all of them as eukaryotic cell. So it is unicellular and eukaryotic. That means one cell, but it is a well developed cell. Alright. Now what else do we see? Now let us check for nutrition. How do they get the food? Now nutrition, we will say that they are either autotrophic or they are heterotrophic. Now auto means self, that means they can make their own food, or heterotrophic, they kind of depend on others for food. So what will they eat? They will probably eat the bacteria. Okay, the one that is lesser developed than them. So how will they catch the bacteria? See over here, this is what you call a pseudopod. Pseudo means false. Okay, pseudo will mean false, and poda means foot. Okay, so this is pseudopod or the false foot. Now they have this capacity to extend it. So suppose this is also extended, right? Now the food particle, the bacteria is over here. Slowly they will contract and extend, and finally what we see that the pseudopod will encircle around the food, and then the food is taken inside. Okay. So the food is taken inside with the help of this advancing pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopoda, or you can say pseudopodia, both are correct. Alright, so this is how they kind of, encircle the food and then they take it inside. Now, once the food is taken inside, all the juices act on it, right? The digestive juices act on it. And then the food is stored in the vacuole. They have the food vacuole, and the food is stored over there. Alright, now once the food is stored over there and it is utilized by the body to get energy, there will be certainly some waste material, right? So the waste material will now come into this vacuole, that is called the contractile vacuole. Okay, so what does the contractile vacuole do? The contractile vacuole will take the waste from the body and slowly it will go towards the membrane. See how in paramecium I have drawn? This is the contractile vacuole and it has come near the membrane. Now this part it will eject out or throw out the waste products. Okay, so where is the waste product stored in the body? The waste products are stored in the contractile vacuole, and from time and again the contractile vacuole will come towards the membrane, right, and near the wall, and then it will eject out all the waste products. Alright, so this is how they do egestion. Next is locomotion. Now locomotion means movement. So do they show movement? Yes, they do. Now if you see, this is the paramecium, right? And around the paramecium we have this thread-like, very fine thread-like structures. Now what does they do? They kind of help it to swim. So this is called cilia, and the cilia helps the paramecium to swim through the water. Now what about the euglena? Now this organism is also a protista, comes under protista, and it is called euglena. So how does it move? Now see, it has a whip-like flagella. Okay, and this flagella kind of helps it to move by the lashing movement. So it moves like this, and with the lashing movement it kind of helps it to locomote or to move from one place to another place, right? And about amoeba, we had already discussed that the amoeba usually it uses the pseudopod for taking in the food. Similarly, here the pseudopod also helps it to move from one place to another. It is contractile, it can extend, it can contract. So this way the amoeba will also move from one place to another. Okay, the best way to learn the organisms under the kingdom Protista, you have to draw them. Once you draw, you label them, and you yourself can come out with the characteristics of the kingdom Protista. They are unicellular eukaryotic. What is their mode of nutrition? Autotrophic or heterotrophic. Digestion, with the help of the pseudopod, they encircle the food and then they digest with the digestive juices. Egestion with the help of contractile vacuole, and locomotion with the help of this pseudopodia for amoeba, flagella for euglena, and cilia for paramecium. Alright, hope it is clear to you all. Thank you.